Oh, I've done amazing. I have created a loop of echoing. Let's just fix that one up right now. Good evening, everyone. Hope we're doing well today. As you... Oh, that completely threw me off already. I've done amazing. Anyway, today we have a Division B Northeast game, being Beyond Gaming vs ReGen Ghost. As we see on the graphic in front of us, we see that Beyond Gaming banned Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya Industries, while ReGen Ghost banned Braxis Holdout and Alterac Pass. Double checking I have that right. I do indeed, and that led us to a Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Right, let's actually jump on into it. If I click this button. Right. On the side of Beyond Gaming, we have Defiant Angel on the Stukov, Vexter on the Sylvanas, Lord Spyros on the not Tassadar, Phoenix, Goose on the Sonya, and Skeeter on the Joanna. On the right hand side, we have Mongoose on ETC, Jub on what appears to be Decade, Andrew as the Tassadar, Aaron as Leoric, and Gigglesmack as the Chromie. Right, let's see how we start this off. We do already see Tassadar going bot lane immediately. It's a potential hassle for anyone to duel, especially Leoric, as Leoric gets bonus health depending on how much health the enemy has on his creepy hand, and this is a low health. High... It has the shield bar, but low health. We see that Mongoose was stopped in his tracks by the Chromie time stop. Goose decides to spear in and start spinning off a wave, however is being told to stay in by Mongoose. However, everyone decides to disengage. Defiant Angel was dropped, had some sands dropped overhead and had to back out. Aggressive by Goose, just making sure Aaron can't quite do as much, and Aaron actually has to back out, getting quite low on health already from thanks to the Goose and the Lord Spyros. We see that Red team does have a rotation advantage now, however, as they did at least have a 4-man to clear it up relatively quick, and Tassadar is a very good clear hero for at least minion waves. We see Times Trap was stopping both Vexter and the Joanna, whose name I can't read at the moment, Skeeter. Yeah, that'll be a very quick, again, wave clear rotation. As we see at the moment, there is a slight advantage for ReGen Ghost in terms of experience and actually wave clear, as they are actually ahead. Skeeter doesn't actually get time stop that time, able to get the wave pretty well. Mongoose has to force to slide through the enemy Joanna and gets out relatively safely, all considering. However, we do see that these gem minions are still up. Excellent stuff by Mongoose. Okay, Raka, it's 3 AM for you, it's 8 PM for me, so this is perfectly normal. But hey, thanks for coming along. Yep, we just have the offlane thing happening here. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Dexter getting a lot of damage off. Skeeter actually getting relatively low to both Andrew and Gigglesmack there. However, we do see again that the red team of ReGen Ghost does have the wave clear advantage, and I looked over at chat for mid-sentence and started giggling. We do see that Aaron is handing in here. However, we do see Sonya is doing bottom camp while this is happening. Trying to get scouting on it, seeing where Sonya is. However, it will be a bit too late to get bottom by the time they have returned. A lot of abilities coming out, however, not much being done. Again, that wave clear advantage is coming through for the side of ReGen Ghost. Oh, I'm so bad with names. I'll get better at this one day, but I'm so bad at names at the moment. So just quickly looking at some talents while we're just still doing this kind of wave clear phases. Neither team is actually quite at hand in yet, as we're both sitting around actually relatively the same number of 28 to 38 has to be handed in for the side of Beyond Gaming, but 13 have to be handed in, so it's relatively even actually. 2 gem difference between the two teams of what still needs to be what still is potentially handed in. Andrew had Lord Spyros go onto the back of him, actually getting relatively low. No one is there to finish him off or lock him down. Mongoose is getting poked out by the Phoenix as well. It gets relatively low, but honestly is ultimately healthy. Also, my time zone's correct time zone, just not according to NGS. Raka. Mongoose just happily walking on in, picking up his gen. Skeeter does come in from behind. Andrew Kill out slightly ahead of their tank. Does have Lord Spyros coming on with him. Excellent time stop by Giggle Shamak. However, the damage wasn't quite there to follow up thanks to Phoenix's shielding. Aaron getting another hand in, getting them relatively close to handing in. However, both teams are in striking range of the first Webweaver now. As you just see this dance around these two hand-ins will be constantly happening at this point. Excellent time stop, good follow-up on damage to the Joanna. However, Stukov is excellent for sustaining through all of this. If you want to hide a little... That didn't work. That is... I appreciate you trying to help, but that did something entirely different. Thank you for the advice, so I appreciate it. A good time stop by the Chromie. However, we do notice Chromie is getting quite low on resources now with a very low mana bar, as well as Joanna gets caught out actually a bit by that Tassadar wall, has to rotate out the long way, but lockdown wasn't quite there for them to get the damage on it. A thing to note about ReGen Ghost comp here is while they do have a lot of like burst between both Giggleshmack and Andrew, the Chromie and the Tassadar respectively, they don't actually have a lot of consistent damage, and that may come back to sting them in the end. Again, blue team is just constantly trying to get this hand in, and as they are very much in the clear of having the right amount of gems. Who's it mainly on? We mainly see it on Skeeter, and that will actually be Mongoose turning in bottom for Red Weaver to get the first Web Weaver phase. Like, I should really just I need to remember camera controls is also a bigger thing. Goose is coming up for also a big fight in mid, it looks like. We've got a 5v4 happening in mid. However, we see Sonya and Leoric both rotating down. Nope, having a little bit of a scuffle. Having a little bit of a slap fight. Spinning at each other. It's fine. Close this. Right, moving back up here. Nope, we're just having a nice little standoff. Just everyone just staring at each other, not quite doing anything. Lord Spyros takes an excellent hit. Nearly actually getting their shield down, however, it's not quite enough to do anything. Chromie running in to pick up those rubies, wanting that extra bit of healing. Just getting everything they can. We see a rewind coming out on Lord Spyros, not moved by, however, it takes a lot of damage but will not go down as they're able to warp out of danger. Sonya was forced to retreat during that, so we see Leoric getting a relatively big push down bottom. And this middle Web Weaver was uncontested for a long time. Sure, there's no one pushing with it. However, no one was trying to push against it, so it got, well, the most part of a wall and almost a second full tower. And as we see, red team of ReGen Go still pushing here. Beyond Gaming is just trying to defend. We should know that Beyond Gaming is actually closer to tens, and we see tens come through now. Aaron has to Wraith Walk out and ultimately is safe. We did not see Sonya commit the leap to them. I like this call. Being able to get this camp out just before blue turns and Web Weavers means that we at least have that ReGen Ghost does have the Bruiser camp pushing against the blue teams of Beyond Gaming's Web Weaver. I'm getting tongue-tied. Excellent. Okay, yeah. 1 for 1. Let's 1 Web Weaver for 1 Web Weaver. Let's see how this phase goes for the team of Beyond Gaming. One thing to... Okay. Rewind on Goose. Does not really follow up much. Excellent Marsh on Goose, just meaning that they'll be taken out. However, we get an excellent meme beam out on Mongoose from the Phoenix, taking out a third of his health. All the gems were picked up from Sonya, and now they're far more spread out. Largely on Skeeter, but they are more spread out. This, of course, you never want your Sonya to die, but of all places for them to die on this map, that was probably one of the better ones, like near enough their team where the team can pick up any lost gems, especially considering there are 32 of them. Right, Aaron is being told to back off, as they, on Leoric, have been just given a bit too much space to work, and Lord Spyros was not happy with that. We see Joanna here trying to disrupt rotations. Doesn't really do much. Chromie now has to back out the safe way as they're now scared. Oh, excellent slide coming out onto the Sylvanas, and Sylvanas will go down as they use their last Haunting Wave inwards to get a little bit more damage onto the structures. We see Skeeter turning in their 40 up top. This is needed. That is not an amount you want to die with, and they are now safe. Blue gets back-to-back Web Weavers. That is excellent pressure that this will apply. However, we do see Red had a very good last defense, as they only lost 2 actual gates, none of the towers. So it'll be interesting to see how this defense go, as Web Weavers are once again stronger thanks to the scaling of time. Sorry about my burpy nature, I didn't eat too long ago. So I haven't even looked at 10s yet. My bad. There are some talents for you. Very nice. Interesting that we see W build from Tassadar. It does give more wave clear, but his burst is ultimately lower. But that may be needed considering what his team already has in the Chromie for the burst. And we do see Archon coming out away from that black hole that has been seen a lot recently. Leap has to be used to get out, but they will still go down to what appeared to be a tower shot or a minion auto attack. I'm not sure. And the blue team of Beyond Gaming are forced to disengage here. However, do get a whole wall. Lurok does rotate back down now, as they did have to use Entomb that fight, and we do see Red quickly clearing top. However, we do have a collapse coming down on bottom, as that Web Weaver is still healthy, and Aaron does have to Wraith walk out of it. We will probably see a fort go down here, as the red team may not be able to react in time, and no, they are not. Lurok's kind of cute. Yeah, I'll give you that. Mongoose getting very aggressive. They do have Mosh Up, so it does kind of make sense. Excellent patience not using it there, as Joanna did use Iron Skin. What is going to happen here? I believe we're going to be looking for another Turnus, or at least... Oh. Falling Sword. I like it. It does save a lot. Vexter does get teleported back on 1 health, just running up. Skidder even lower in terms of percent, at least only on 500, but is not killed. Phoenix, throughout all this, however, is taking bottom. And there is the red turn-in. They may see the campers up, however, it is just slightly too late. Right, this Web Weaver should at least even up this bottom lane, as this fort is already very low, and Red doesn't have... Red has very fast clear, do not get me wrong, but a Web Weaver being dropped almost directly on top of a fort is just slightly too much for even a team of Sylvanas, Phoenix, Sonya to defend. They will choose to defend this top lane, very smart considering that it is alone, and they did see all of red team bottom. So I hope that ReGen Ghost decides to push with this mid Web Weaver. Actually, this bottom Web Weaver is getting defended better than I thought it would. Joanna uses Falling Sword very early and will get punished for it. That's very unfortunate. Good sleep by the old man. Old man. Good combo follow-up of Slide, then Root from Decade. There we go, Decade is his name. Definitely didn't forget it in the first place. As we see, Mongoose taking a reasonable amount of shots, however, this middle structure will go down. And I was wrong, Blue's bottom structure did stand up, at least for that Web Weaver phase. However, let's see what ReGen Ghost decides to do now that this side of Beyond Gaming is missing their tank. Just going to run through some... Just looking at talents again real quick. We see Joanna's up to 25 stacks of Laws of Hope. That means she is getting 30%, yeah, a 30% bonus on her healing every time, of her health every time she pushes that button. We also see that she did go the Subdue talent. Quite a hard talent to actually pull off in terms of getting the quest off. However, an 80% slow even when you hit just 2 people is a lot. Joanna goes in very early without her team, is forced to pop Iron Skin. Doesn't quite get body blocked by Aaron, however, is again forced to be on the retreat. Neither team, oh, actually that's a lie. Red team does actually have turn in at this point, so it is a bit of Blue has to defend here and try to make sure they don't turn in, considering there is a lot of pressure on them currently. Blue bottoms are not as fun as red bottoms. Okay. Blue bottoms is playing safe. They're just like, yeah, you know what, we want our bottoms to defend a little bit, while red's going, we don't need that. We could just do it however we want. And there is the red turning. I need to just stop clicking and just like start doing this drag more. It's being smooth. Yep, we're going to see a lot here top. We see all 5 of the blue team members top, while Leoric is split from the rest of his team. Mongoose goes in for slide, does not quite find anything. So they just decide to back off and not actually fight there. We'll clear this up mid-camp first and see what happens after this. Leoric will probably be very determined to get this bottom keep forward. And we see that no one is near enough to defend from him. Actually, Leoric is rotating up, probably looking for an Entomb play. I want to see this team fight break out now. Because whoever gets this team fight will probably end up going for boss. Oh, not quite as far as it could have been, but an excellent push. Phoenix did have to go and deal with this Leoric here. Oh, Leap is used and... Leap and... I can't remember what's called him on. Entomb was used. And Aaron rotating a very interesting way into the middle, essentially, of the enemy team. Getting poked down by Lord Spyros very quickly. But is able to get to potions relatively safely. Getting a very slow siege here, as the red team does want this top fort. They want to get that extra pressure on the map. And Chromie's Falling Sands does actually get it there. This opens up the map a lot for the side of ReGen Ghost, and Beyond Gaming now has to try find a way back into this. Should be mentioned, Beyond Gaming does actually have turn in already. And it looks like they'll be ready to just turn in immediately. ReGen Ghost is actually deciding to burn through this boss, and considering how Joanna is actually positioned quite low in lane, as well as Defiant Angel, that they may not be able to get there to defend in time. We'll have to wait and see. Sonya thinking about leaping in, however is not able to. Excellent sleep. Actually, Joanna does get off a falling sword in time and is able to interrupt the combo. Mongoose slides out to save himself, however that's 3 members of Beyond Gaming going down. Oh, 4 members of Beyond Gaming going down, and a used, albeit not full cooldown Mosh, but a used Mosh. And that will likely be Andrew to follow. Very good fight by the side of Beyond Gaming. However, that boss was taken off map, so can't quite use that. However, thanks to Sylvanas, they can just turn off this keep and just run it down. I understand that as well. I just see it go, oh yeah, they aren't on the same team. I'm just looking going, that doesn't make sense. It would be like running a Murky Octograb and seeing the Phoenix on the opposite team just shooting into it. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then you look at it longer and going, but it doesn't. Right, anyway, we saw this Web Weaver did take mid-fort while this was all happening, while top was just run down by the Skater, Defiant Angel, and Vexter. Aaron gets incredibly slowed and is able to slowly back out. That actually was a lot of slow. Yeah, as I missed it, unfortunately, but Subdue was gotten off by Skeeter. I did say how hard it was, then immediately told that, no, it's not that hard. Watch me get it, as they just swing their mace, swing their shield, and hit 4. Aaron has to be very careful here. Nope, never mind. Killschmack uses their level 1 of Time Walker's Pursuit, and Scouts are doing it. Lord Spyro is getting very low, actually gets Entomb back in, and they are not able to step back on. Aaron is able to step onto the objective, however, and at least call that about this. Goose getting very low. Killschmack will barely take him out before they're taking out. Jub has to back out as well, but does actually drink their own potion, and is safe. Killschmack uses that, I was about to call it a rewind talent, but no, Quantum Overdrive, and gets an incredible amount of kills on that point. Skeeter having to back out after the rest of their team was wiped. However, red team can try push here. They do not exactly have a Web Weaver up, so to speak, but they can get double Bruiser Camp and see what they can do mid. Or I'm going to say something and they're not going to do it again, as per. No, they are deciding to do the Bruiser Camp. Thank you for not making me a liar. ReGen Ghost, love you for it. Skeeter just going for some slow clears. Joanna used to have very good wave clear actually, but was nerfed with her recent rework. Raka, I never flame the tank. I just flame my healer. Good. Oh, that we do see the upgrades of 20 coming out, as that was Silence and Tomb taking out the Joanna. Mongoose. I thought I heard Mosh. Sorry, that was on me. What do we see ReGen Ghost decide to do here? As they do have a very large wave with a double mage camp actually pushing in. Playing relatively slow. Mongoose is just kind of sliding around under fort, not doing much. Dexter does use double Haunting Wave to trick ReGen Ghost for a little bit, however, Beyond Gaming does seem to push out the side of ReGen Ghost for even a little bit. We are seeing that ReGen Ghost are actually getting very close to their next hand, and looks like they'll be trying to get off this next wave, as well as this siege camp is now up. It's the only camp up on map. Considering that mid is a bit dangerous to go currently, the wave's all the way up near blue core. This may be just for bit to do currently, and yep, we see both the Tassadar and the Leoric. The auto-attack Leoric, mind you, just tearing through that camp, my word. Just to quickly go over some Storm talents as I just follow around these players. We see Ancient Spear, Composite Spear by Joanna, so we're getting a very high damage build, considering that they also went both Poison Spear and Mystical Spear. Well, Mystical Spear isn't damage, but Poison Spear does certainly do a lot over time. Are you the div mod, Raka? Is that why you're here? Oh, and we see Goose stepping up relatively quickly. Mongoose actually has crowd surface, so oversteps it quite a bit. Excellent blink into Mosh. Catches out too, but however unable to follow up. Lord Spyros uses the Planet Cracker. Hits Mongoose for a lot, however Mongoose does not go down. Skitty using a relatively lot of damage being forced out by Andrew. Sylph blinks in. Spyros and Vexter both decide to back out. Skitty getting very low to the falling sands there. Tassadar trying to get a little bit more poke on, however, does not succeed. Oh, okay, I see. Just big coincidence. Got it. You are the name, my friend. I appreciate that, Raka. Thank you a lot. And we see the second boss also being taken by ReGen Ghost yet again. It's just been a lot of big fights here. Sorry, just a lot coming in. However, there's been a lot of buttons pushed for a lot of these fights. However, we're only losing 1 or 2 per fight, so teams are not necessarily getting the best opportunity to push into core and end. Aaron did miss the upgraded Entomb there, so Sylph is able to escape. Very unfortunate. Very fortunate for Sylvanas, but very unfortunate for the side of ReGen Ghost. We do have this boss blade slowly pushing in. Neither team are getting near the next hand-in. Chromie does now see where they all are. Chromie has used her eyes and can now see everyone. Mongoose and Andrew both getting stunned here. Mongoose getting that 80% slow coming out from the Subdue. Excellent leap by Sonya, and the Falling Sword will actually keep her unstoppable during that whole time, meaning she is able to spin a win. And free actually go down here on the side of ReGen Ghost. Andrew has decided that they're in a bit of a dangerous spot. Hopefully they can get half out. It's going to be very close, and no. It was nice knowing you, Tassadar. It just wasn't going to quite work out that time. I'm sorry, my Tassadar. Chromie, however, is very safe. Fun fact, Forsaken got silenced for less by Buried Alive because they are much more used to the experience. I'm just reading it. I get the joke. I was way too slow on that. Sorry about that. I do like this. Just this aggressive camping style quite quick. It will actually mean they can push into this keep much earlier. Chromie actually being very nice and helping out Beyond Gaming clear this camp here, trying to do a bit of damage, seeing if they could take anyone else. Goose actually taking a lot of damage. Aaron now in a very aggressive position, losing a lot of their health. Oh, not a lot of health, about a third of their health in less than a couple of seconds. However, Wraithwalk, the true savior of all the orcs everywhere. I know, I use it a fair amount. We get warnings in this bush, in this area. I don't know who by. I'm assuming it was by the side of ReGen Ghost. However, we do see that... Okay, we do see that the side of Beyond Gaming does have hand in. And that will be Vexter. One short, actually, Goose does have to hand in. As we do see Lord Spyros doing this bottom siege. We should have a very big push here, actually, from the side of... At least a mid lane from the side of Beyond Gaming. Top may not get as much value just because of how pushed out this lane is, as it has had that constant counter pressure out for this whole time. However, mid does have this bruiser plus wave, while bottom does have this siege, these siege giants doing it. So actually a lot of damage coming out. It'll be a lot of macro pressure coming out for the side of Beyond Gaming. what is Beyond Gaming's plan here? I could actually close this so there is less on the screen. I've clicked on the Joe at some point. That is on me. Yeah, I have tried the Control-Shift-O thing to get rid of this before, but for some reason it just wants to do this. I don't know why, but it does. Right, we see a lot of posturing here as neither team wants to fully commit to this, as Weebweaver is not under it. Mongoose walks up and pushes Guitar Solo as they are pushed out for their efforts in doing so. We do hear Twilight Archon popped, I believe. Yep, Twilight Archon is popped, so Tesla, as long as he can keep autoing people and doing damage while he is in this form, will continue to keep his Archon up. Goose getting poked out a little bit by Andrew. Andrew, however, missing that Q, and that is Archon down. They did not do enough damage to meet requirements to keep it up. We see, okay, that actually, Red got it, this top Weebweaver got a bit more keep damage than I would have thought. Sylvanas turns off the fort as well, being able to use that with her trait. Interesting to see Sylvanas get out of that. Skeeter, however, gets a bit too low. Actually escapes. Lord Spyros gets saved by Defiance Angel with a big shove, so they're able to get out. Thank you to their warp. Oh, a few ults traded there by both sides. However, ultimately that comes out, I believe, in Beyond Gaming's favor as they decide to start pushing this bottom wave. And then the side of ReGen Ghost actually a bit scrambly on defense, it looks like, trying to just make sure they're everywhere at once so they don't lose any structures. Goose did go in very hard and actually will get punished for it. However, we may see the Leoric go down here as well. Leoric, however, will have a faster respawn thank you to his passive of Ghost form. Dexter, I know this doesn't do damage, but I was like, oh, he may die! No. And ETC is shoved away. Neither team is actually all that particularly close to next hand of it. The closest is ReGen Ghost due to the 44 they handed in originally. Now they're 11 off. They are 10 off getting that handed. And it looks like we may see a boss play here for the side of not ReGen Ghost, Beyond Gaming. Quickly checking something. I was hoping there was a ult upgrade on Stukov. That's his name. Good old mate, Stukov. Skeeter does successfully scout that bush. However, Mongoose will be able to go in very soon. Vexter has to go out, and that is a Stukov going down very early. Oh, that is Falling Sword to get him out of the way of Mosh. However, Skeeter is taking a lot of damage. Thank you to Andrew. Mongoose has to use the blink. However, will still go down to go down to Phoenix. Actually, Leoric does get the kill onto. No, he doesn't. That was Chromie getting the kill onto Phoenix, and Sylvanas will take out both the Chromie and Leoric. Costly fight in the end. Decade, I only realized just coming back now is. What is the plan here? Okay. We're running bottom as both Dexter and Goose are two excellent siege heroes of Sylvanas and not Joanna, but the Barbarian. I can't remember your name all of a sudden. I'm sorry, Miss Blade Lady. This is actually hard. However, we do see this actually core is falling on the side of ReGen Ghost as not ReGen Ghost. ReGen Ghost will actually take the map. Thank you to the boss play taking out the core of Beyond Gaming. Right, let me just quickly change over to the game summary screen as I just do this and I do this. We see here actually Stukov did a lot of healing throughout the game. It is actually one of the best sustained healers in the game. Decade, once he hits that 13, is also very close, especially with, if I look at it, yeah, super healing potions. Not quite the big team fight burst of Ancient Blessings. However, those big potions means he can conserve his mana more and has actually, albeit now, technically becomes a 5-6 second cooldown thanks to the arming time of the potion going from a normal to a big potion. It is roughly 1,000 healing per potion picked up, we did see it add up in quite a few team fights there. I did like the plays by ETC. I love Crowd Surfer as a talent. Not many people agree with me that it's a good talent, but I think it's a very good surprise talent, especially if you're able to slide across the wall and get a Mosh, or at least do some tricky things like that, and we did see it pay off a couple of times, I believe. Otherwise, we do see that Leoric did most soak, most... Leoric essentially did a Leoric thing of getting a lot of soak and siege, quite standard. However, Phoenix did actually keep up with that more or less, as we saw him 30k off in terms of siege and only about 6k off in terms of soak, especially when there was also a Sonya and a Sylve, two excellent other heroes for the sieging role. Anyway, I'll quickly show the talents if anyone is interested, as I am about to cut to a wee break while I set up the next map. As I push this button and push this. Right, and welcome back. As we see here that Tomb of the Spider Queen was won by ReGen Ghost. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for anyone who does like seeing who picks map, who takes map pick, or who takes first pick. I like coming into these series not knowing how many maps there are, or what maps are even picked up, or what comps were picked up. So unfortunately, I do not know who chose map pick, or I don't know whether Beyond Gaming chose map pick or first pick. However, we do see that we have gone to Dragonshire. I am a personal fan of this map. A lovely fan of a chat, Raka maybe as well, as they had recently beaten us in this map in a it felt like a friendly game to me. However, I'm not sure about the rest of either team, but it felt friendly to me. And let us cut into the game and get this going, shall we? Right. On the left-hand side of Beyond Gaming, we have Defiant Angel on Anduin, Goose on V, Malthael, Vexter on Vala, Lord Spyros on Li Ming, and Skeeter on the Joanna. On the right-hand side of ReGen Ghost, we have Aaron on the Samuro, Jub on the... I was about to call him Tree Man, but Malfurion. We have Malfurion and Malthael. Thank you, teams, for doing this one to me. Andrew on the Sylvanas, Mongoose back on the ETC, and Giggle Schmack back on the Chromie. I do know you are always friendly. Right, we actually see a 1-3-1 split here already from the side of Beyond Gaming, so we do see like this little bit of urgency for macro, as they may not be able to clear these waves quite as fast as a Sylvanas Chromie. Oh, no, never mind. Vexter has decided to float around here. Also, I'm going to take a hazard guess. I'm not sure about this guess. If I see Vala on a team, I have a feeling that team had first pick. So I feel like Dragonshire may have been chosen by the side of ReGen Ghost. The map may have been picked by ReGen Ghost. So you see these standard rotations starting to come out. Now I'll just click that wave. And we do see Sylvanas and... No, Sylvanas, why'd you have to do that? We do see Sylvanas top, maybe for a gank on the Malthael, but nope, does immediately go down to get that mid soak. One of the most neglected lanes, actually, on any map I find, is this middle lane on Dragonshire, and it's actually one of the most important middle lanes in the game because, well, maybe not most important, But if you forget about this lane, you are forgetting about a third of minion experience on the map. Goose is doing the double soak thing that Malthael loves to do, as if we have a look at talents real quick, we do see Honor Pale Horse at 1. Okay, both teams have started their camps. A bit faster on the side of Beyond Gaming, thanks to Vala being a bit of a monster currently, especially at Q build. We'll see where she goes with that at 7. However, Joanna did get very close to jumping onto the siege, but Hourglass does stop them from getting any further. I do like that Sylvanas is here to get that gank onto Malthael. However, we do see this bond action. Let's actually watch this for a few seconds. Goose getting very low. Malthael not very tanky in terms of bruises and will go down, even with that extra healing probably coming off these 2 Samuro clones. However, but down bottom, because Sylvanas is up top, down bottom we do see a 2v3. Not 2, my god, my math. A 4v3. Hello, Dontris, I hope you're doing well today. Mongoose is having the back for health and mana. Actually, Chub takes a very big hit from Leeming as well, as this is a very uncontested siege site. I did see actually on the minimap both Sylvanas and Samuro go up and just take this well very quickly. Look, Vader, Rocket, I'm not too fast. I was a bit like, okay, we don't know you that well, but ultimately in the end I do know that it was probably like trying to be in good fun, but it is what it is. Malthael actually getting a decent amount of healing off of these minions and out clearing Samuro reasonably well. Going down onto this Sylvanas, again, just Leoric has a very good macro pressure. Vexter going on, does hit the first Q. W doesn't use the reset there, so Sylvanas on here. So Vexter only got about 1 stack out of it. EC does step onto this point, and now we do see Shrines are both being taken over by the side of ReGen Ghost. Yes, just finished binging standing. I don't know what that is, but nice. Sylvanas unfortunately did get hit by his minions, so was not able to been able to cap the Dragon Knight. Malthael is a very good matchup against the Samuro here, is able to actually sustain off both of these clones as well as the Samuro player himself. Sylvanas looking to be a bit cheeky here. Does take a little bit off of Goose's health, but however not much. This bottom siege again is actually going off quite well for the side of Beyond Gaming, as they're not being very much contested by this Malthael or... Not Malthael! There it is! I just called Malfurion Malthael. I need like a counter for this, how many times I get these heroes mixed up this game. That's a 1 currently. But this well Elites is still up for the side of ReGen Ghost, meaning they're not quite going to have that struggle yet. However, the blue team on Beyond Gaming does still have that. Well, look, Mal'Ganis is not in this game. I am very safe from that. Andrew coming in from flank, getting a little bit of damage onto Vex, they're taking out about a third of their health, but not being able to get much more just due to their positioning compared to the rest of the team. We do see Chromie's 10, and it will be slowing Sands this time. If anyone's played an ARAM, they know they hate this talent. And even on this map, with actually quite a few good small choke points, such as this bush here, these bushes here, around the Dragon Knight, around gates, it is still infuriating to go into. We do see this time, however, just to mention a few other things, ETC has again gone the questing talent at 1, Progrock, to get extra healing out onto his team and get extra healing out onto himself. Did not go Crowd Surfer this time, so a bit disappointed, however. Bigger W as well as W at 7 and 13 is very good for the cooldown reduction on what will likely be Mosh. We see single target blow build on Sylvanas. We do see that the Samuro did get out their level 1 quest of Way Evolution. I do not see this one as much. I do also not use this one as much, but here we are. Vengeful Roots on Malfurion. It's definitely an interesting choice. I haven't seen it actually used much in terms of normal games recently. I do see the Emerald Dreams far more. I do like this actual invade coming out from the side of Beyond Gaming, because these 2 Siege Giants do actually jump over to this. If they come into this bush, gets a direct line of sight onto this fort. Aggressive ping retreats, okay. I wonder which of a red team was trying to get that out, and that is actually Malthael going down here. Sure, the side of Beyond Gaming did take a siege camp, however they lost Malthael for it, and that is Probably not the best trade considering how easily that camp was taken up. Aaron just doing his samurai thing. Just doing it. Well done. And we will see both shrines going over the side of the team of ReGen Ghost. However, 10s are now online from both sides, so any advantage that could be had is now lost. To quickly run over it, we have Mosh Pit from ETC. And that is a very quick Mosh Pit, but also we did see Sylvanas' mind control used, so a bit of overlap there in terms of the CC. Gigglesmack actually out of position slightly, eats the first Q from Vala. Vala did not hit the second one, however, it looks like. Continuing on talents, we see Blade Storm from Samurai, which looks like it may get popped here in a few seconds, does not. Tranquility from Malfurion, and again, Slice Sense Chromie on the left-hand side of Beyond Gaming. We have that Falling Sword yet again. Defiant Angel uses Light Bomb. It looks like they may have wanted a Light Bomb Falling Sword combo, however, did not execute at that time. Andrew does turn off his Style, being able to get free siege onto it. Joanna sticking back up, even on quite low health. However, the Iron Skin means they are not able to get slowed by that slowing sands. To continue on, we have Last Rites on Malfowl. Very standard pick. Maybe not the best into this team, considering not the highest health, and doesn't matter. Malfowl is taking the spawner camp, as Malfowls do love doing camps. We see a Wave of Force by Leeming and a Rain of Vengeance by Vala for that extra lockdown. Malfowl did give that camp in time. Good stuff, good stuff. However, it takes a very aggressive rotation. Maybe not the best pick, considering going into this team. Sylvanas misses the mind control. Goose does get rooted. Goose does go down to the ETC stun. The slide loudspeaker combo. Skeeter getting slowed by the slowing sands. Lord Spyros barely missing that arcane orb. Samurai looks like to be turning over. And that will be the first Dragonite of the game going over to the side of ReGen Ghost. I nearly said the Divi ReGen, and that's just not remotely right. Interesting, we see the Dragon... If my camera work gets better. There we go. There we go. It's here. Here's the Dragonite. Beavis? Line boss? Just remember, this is what Dragonite looks like me. Yeah, went straight top, which is very unusual for this first Dragonite phase. However, we do see that's because the rest of the team has decided to split push the bottom, and we see now that... No, I heard Mosh go out. Excellent Ice Skin. That is both Mosh and Mind Control down. Falling Sword does come out. Does not actually manage to find any of the ReGen Ghost team. I don't know how scared to move that fast, that quick, but boy howdy they did. We do see a flank coming in from Malfowl. However, the team of ReGen Ghost is out ever so slightly. Why does it hurt your OCD? Is it because there's a capital G in ReGen? Is that it? Is that it? Because it's usually like that. And yep, we see from that Dragonite 2 actually forts went down this phase. We actually see the Samurai now that this objective phase is over for a little bit. Wait, oh my lord! I wish someone told me sooner. I thought I updated it. Now I look like a fool. Does it look better now? Is it showing the right teams now? Okay. Oh. Well, GG, I guess. That's my streaming career done. Nice knowing everyone. No, I won't actually quite finish yet. I'll at least get this cast done before I decide to retire. Samurai actually not going to get caught out, even though Skidder did try their best. Well, you're one letter off. That's a question for Dontris to answer and not me, Raka. Sorry to tell you. Samurai is now just roaming around, just collecting the sock and split pushing. We do see actually Bladestorm is up, so we likely push it. However, we do see the side of ReGen Ghost trying to clear this fast possible. There is the Light Bomb. Light Bomb did come out in Joanna, but nothing really came of it, unfortunately. Just didn't seem to quite connect with the enemy team. Slide does come out onto Goose. Goose going back in deeper. Does have to get pulled out by Anduin with what I like to refer to as the trust issues button of his leap of faith. Samurai did get a lot of push here and is actually slowly taking this siege camp. Will get it just before Goose is able to get there, however, it was not noticed in time. It wouldn't have been noticed even then. I don't know, right? And we do see Siege actually coming out onto this fort. Not any hard Siege, just Samurai Clones going for it as the team of ReGen Ghost does split for this objective phase. We do see that they do still have a level advantage, 16s being a big power spike for a lot of teams. As we see the bigger W's coming out from Alfury and the faster auto attacks from Samurai. Sylvanas gets her unstop. And that is... I missed that! That's Malthael going down. That's very unfortunate timing. Just consolidating. The side of ReGen Ghost is consolidating their lead and making sure that they do not fall off. Defiant Angel is slowly being dropped, however it does not go down entirely. Excellent Iron Skin by Joanna, meaning that Mongoose's slide does not do anything. All the while, Samurai has been split pushing top, while this top lane isn't the most important in terms of any top lane. After this fort, this fort here, very important. This fort gets you a lot of passive, gets extra siege cannons coming in, does a lot. However, that keep doesn't matter so much. We do see Samurai yet again in this Dragon Knight, and this should be mid-fort going down this phase. It'll be interesting to see what the side of ReGen Ghost decides to do after this. Beyond Gaming are still in this. They nearly did have a very good turnaround last game. However, they do need to squeeze out those 16s before too long, as we do see now nearly a level and a half of advantage going over to the side of ReGen Ghost. Beyond Gaming does actually get the 16s now, very vital as we just see these talents coming in. We do see the longer Ws coming out from Sylvanas, not Sylvanas, my word, from Li Ming. Double pull from Anduin, another, again, Q talents from Malthael. I can't remember what any of the Q talents are, all I know is they are on the Q button. There is the Light Bomb Falling Sword combo pulled off very effectively this time. Excellent slide from Mongoose. Goose does actually get rid of it, How did they end up out of that? I don't know. I thought they were stunned, but they did manage to get out. And that will be Malthael going again. Just for a quick update, Malthael still doesn't have any stacks on Last Rites. I don't actually know if they've even used it, unfortunately. However, just look at others. Malfurion up to 10. A 10 strong Broccoli. Did I say Light Bomb Falling Sword? I hope I did. Yeah, but unfortunately, Falling Sword, as chat has not kindly pointed out, was a bit too deep for the rest of the team. Joanna didn't pay for it as they did have Iron Skin up. However, Malthael decided to try follow up and did go down. The unfortunate thing about Beyond Gaming's comp here is they aren't particularly divey. I mean, I can't remember her name anymore. What's your name? We do. Vala is actually one of the best heroes. Is actually a very good hero to dive. However, once she goes in, she can't get back out, being her largest limitation in terms of that dive potential. Li Ming sure doesn't have to dive, but these massive orbs, these arcane orbit orbs, just don't quite necessarily get the damage off that you need or want sometimes, especially with you have spell armor Samurai clones there to eat actually quite a few shots. We do see that now ReGen Ghost is trying to make a push here. It's very close to 20s. I'm wondering if they're going to get quite a bit too aggressive with these two camps here. We do see them deciding to back out for this. Let me make you a bit scared. Oh, that was a very close. Very, very close mind control as Lord Spyrus is able to dodge it. Yo, Vala went wrong 20 for that. There's no 20s. I don't know what to tell you. Chromie has Blessings of a Bronze, actually, something that is not seen often at all, and the 20s have only just come through the side of not Beyond Gaming, ReGen Ghost. Okay, we do see a Wind Strider. We do see Dark Lady's Call coming out. This is a very popular talent for Sylvanas currently. It turns Mind Control into a 15-second cooldown. A bit insane if you ask me. Very insane if you ask me, but it did need something to get it over the line. We did see Warning Pings come out from the side of ReGen Ghost, I believe, and they do come down. Oh, that is a missed Mind Control. That may have been Mongoose's doing with his readiness to use his W, however, they did not get out. Interesting to see that ETC has chosen that Storm Shield. Not often picked up. You can see a lot of Death Mosh, a lot of the extra start. I can't remember what the talent's called. I play this character a little bit. I can't remember what it's called. Nope, not Crowd Surfer. Crowd Surfer is 4. I can't remember what's called, for slide during Mosh, where it extends the Mosh period, and we do see the Tranquility upgrade from Malfurion. We do see Samurai is getting this bottom now. Excellent side on Mongoose does manage to get Skeeter. Skeeter's Iron Skin almost goes down to immediately due to the damage coming out. Vala does have 41 stacks of her Q tone at 1, however, if she does get to the 20, that will be that could be potentially disastrous for the side of ReGen Ghost. However, Beyond Gaming will lose their tank of Joanna there. Andrew manages to hit the mind control finally. That is Defiant Angel on the Anduin going down. And this will be a 16-minute DK onto what is an exposed core. Now, DK, as per a lot of objectives here, does scale with time. And 16 minutes is a relatively chunky Death Knight, Dragon Knight. And this is a Dragon Knight going straight to core. Vala trying their best just to get any sort of damage out of it. It is kicked back to core for their attempts at basically defending. This core quickly falling. Dragon Knight doing that extra damage to core, and it looks like just the side of ReGen Ghost is focusing that core, and it will go down. That will be the game and the series going over to ReGen Ghost. Yes, I called it Death Knight for a little bit, but did correct it to Dragon Knight. Let's have a quick look at some talents real quick. Defiant Angel, I always like looking at healers first, and just Defiant Angel is the Anduin at the top, so I go that, and then I look at Malfurion. Malfurion is very much known for their sustain, and a lot of those fights did end up being sustained. As Vala, yeah, Q-Build will do a lot at 20, but you have to get to 20 for it to do that massive burst potential that you need, as well as Li Ming. So while that they did have a lot of poke, Malfurion was able to deal with it. And also just because how aggressive their Joanna was, it meant that that burst healing from their Moonfire was constantly coming through. Again, Mongoose did very well in ETC. I would respect it this series as it did do well. I love a good Samurai. Malfurion did very well into the Samurai. Goose chose, honestly, one of the best heroes to go into that, as they were just sustaining off those clones. But Samurai's extra pressure was just a bit out of it seemed to be a bit out of a comfort zone for Beyond Gaming, as that Samurai was able to split push while Malfurion did go to fight. And unfortunately for Malfurion, it didn't really work out well, as we just can see on the screen that there were no kills for the side of Beyond Ghost, yet 8 kills for the side of ReGen Ghost. Did I call them Beyond Ghost? I did, didn't I? Whoops, Beyond Gaming. Oh my word, that may be a sign that this will be my only cast for the night. It was already my intention, but I think my words have decided to also reinforce that. Yeah, I guess ghosts are from the beyond. I'll have a quick show of some talents real quick for anyone who is interested in any of the builds that happened here today. I did like actually see Blessing of a Bronze come out. Most chromings you'll see go either Piercing Sand or Double Rewind. Or sometimes the upgrade to Slowing Sands, whatever that one is called. But Blessings of a Bronze is actually still a very strong talent, just usually only used in coordinated play, which this was very coordinated play. Just having a quick look. Vala did get very stacked on Puncture Arrow, 46. That does hurt. I don't know if... My only gripe here is Vengeful Roots. I'm not the biggest fan of stacking talents in the first place at times. Ignore that I play a lot of Zul'jin. But Vengeful Roots seemed a bit hit or miss there, as we can actually see that Malfurion's root did only actually hit 11 times. Thank you to that wonderful number there that just tracks how many times you get how many roots actually hit people, equals how many stacks to come through for the Vengeful Roots, meaning how strong the broccoli comes, as everyone likes to call the tree end. But yes, I will quickly change over to this view as I click this button. And that will be all for me for the night. I thank everyone who decided to watch the stream live. I appreciate the company for a little bit at least. But that will be a wonderful series from both it. Oh, hello, Wieners. I hope you're doing well as well. I did not see you pop in. Unfortunately, that was the last game for the series and my last that was the only casted game for the series for the night, unfortunately. But yes, I do wish everyone in chat a wonderful Yeah, some better than none. And I have been actually trying to get the teams that have been cast a little bit less this season, as I think everyone deserves some time in the spotlight. But right, that will be all for me. Have a lovely night, everyone. To anyone who watches this later, whether it be via VOD or on YouTube, I wish you all a wonderful time of day wherever you are as well. And that will be all for me. Have a wonderful evening.